you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Right. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self.
I'm early in the morning, the stretching, the yawning. You're not much to do because my fucking life is boring. And pops popping shit that my room's a mess. Cause he don't like my haircut or the way I dress. And it looks like he's still drunk from the night before because he's slurring in his speech, cursing at the dog. I head for the fridge, grab a bite, now I'm ghost. I'm eating yesterday's chicken or eggs and no toast. And mama said he hollering to take out the garbage. Your mind, déjame quieto, mago lo suave. 10 in the morning, pop tocando Tito Puente. But yo, that's my shit, so I sway as the song plays. Tying up my sneakers and I'm sipping on Butelo. Pop is acting up, I turn my head, look out my window. Staring at the streets cause I ain't got nowhere else. I learned to be a man by my damn self.
Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Right.
At 13 I load a 9 and pull the trigger. Cause I grew up on the streets without a father figure. I never had no one to tell me what was right or wrong. Just had the ghetto and the ghetto plays the same old song. I had to hustle, make dough the best way I can. I took a half, cut it up, made myself a gram. I'm pitching bottles on the corner, making X myself. Because my pops ain't give a fuck about no one else. Except Junior, see Junior was his firstborn. So of course you know that him and Junior got along. The only love I had was mom's, but what good is that? Can't run the mom when it's beef to have a nigga's back. So I took my lumps every time I had to dump. I couldn't depend on my dad to come and break shit up. The first time I saw sex was in a magazine. You see, pops never schooled me about a wet dream. So I ran the streets because I had nowhere else. And learned to be a man by my motherfucking self.
Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Right. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta go for self. Sometimes you gotta go for self.
At 14 I got my first pussy knocked up. Maybe your daddy at that age, damn I fucked up. Couldn't tell dad cause he might take it as a joke. So I told moms and I knew that her heart broke. Me have a baby by skis, a black picture that I came the baby and she didn't tell a nigga jack. Now when I piss my underwears are full of cookie shit. Only in junior high already got a sick dick. And now Junior's doing 7.5 to 21. So now my father wants to try and treat me like a son. But I'm a man, I don't need for the baseball game. You fuck fishing, all that daddy shit goes down the drain. With an example, always borracho, tomando Don Q when I got holes in my zapatos. But not for long because I'm making dough around the way. At 15 I'm walking around with a 38. Date quieto, leave that ass reto, and I won't hesitate to put a bala in your cuerpo. At 17 the judge is trying to knock me off the shelf. I plead my case, I learned to be a man by myself.